Hey y'all, it is your girl Kashana Tukido. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you know catch these vibes on my post notification so that you get notified every time the bigger post. Speaking of, uh, huh? I don't know. Let's get into just the story time with your family nigga reader. I forgot my own intro. Hold on. Okay, let's resume. So I want to get into a few things. One is, you know, I have really bad social anxiety because, senor, I have really bad social anxiety. And it's because, the last time I went out, I was trying to get to know my roommate and for us to have a really good time. And, the restaurant lied to me about how their food was made. It's like, and then the person at the hospital who gave me the alleged stroke, she called me a nickname. The only way you would know that nickname is if you follow me on social media because I don't go around saying, hey, I'm so and so. You know what I mean? Um, I went by my government name, which is the information they had for my ID because I wasn't even like talking like that because there was so much going on. Um, so I have social anxiety because how do I explain this? I'm nervous about meeting new people and talking to new people because, you know, just imagine someone knowing you from your platform allegedly, and next thing you know, you're paralyzed on that side of your body and you're in a wheelchair, or how, the restaurant lied to you about the broth and you're thinking everything's all cool and hunky dory and etc. So it's really annoying knowing that outside of just your mental, in the sense of like, okay, I have depression, like literally clinically diagnosed with depression, which is one, me processing everything that happened in regards to the situation, and two, apparently a side effect of a stroke, allegedly. Okay. And then because it's going on 2 years and I still cry and sad, and I'm trying everything in me to try to get it together. I'm trying my hardest. It's like, and then two, excuse me, that I had really bad acid reflux where I burp. Um, if I eat anything, or sometimes even without, it just happens. I actually have to take medication for that. And that's another thing, just as far as like being annoyed and frustrated because USC refused to send in my medical documents to the disability, the SSI, and I missed my appointment for SSI when I evacuated for the fires in LA. And, that money was helping me take care of myself. So I haven't even been able to go to my appointments or re-up on any of my prescriptions or like any of that. And granted, I've always been nervous to take medicine from what happened because the hospital did give me a medicine induced stroke. But I'm honestly really just trying to figure it out. I'm trying my hardest to like have faith in the Lord and like just trying to figure my life out. But yeah, so it's just like, and then, my food, speaking of food, so it's like, okay, because the restaurant lied about their broth and I ended up going to the ICU at the hospital, I ended up going to the ICU at the hospital because my tongue swelled so much that it was blocking my air passageway and my throat literally was swollen. And it caused my head to shake, which is what sent me to the ICU and I had to be put on oxygen because my throat, so I'm hooked up on IVs and I have all this medicine and stuff being pumped into my system to try to help reduce my anaphylactic shock, which is the worst allergic reaction you could ever have. So much to the point where the hospital had to dice up my food. So my food was cut into little bitty pieces for me to be able to eat it because solid foods was too much for my body to intake going down. So, which is why at one point in time when I was doing my supplements, which is why I was taking those supplements because it was like some of the stuff was like drinks, you know what I mean? And like I could still get in the stuff that I needed to get in as far as like the nutrients, etc. without worrying about if I'd be able to consume it because of my throat. And now like I am able to eat solid foods, but that's why I was taking those supplements at the beginning, was worried about that. But yeah, so it's just like there's a lot that I am trying to process. It's like I went from, and again, like this side of my face is drooping more than this side. Like literally, my face is like lopsided. Like, um, and this side is just tight. It's like I constantly have to readjust because I have tightness literally from the top of my head here all the way down to my big toe. Like the whole, like literally here all the way down on the right side hurts. Like all of it. Um, and it's annoying because one, I'm being told that that's a side effect again of a stroke. It's like, and then two, like I've had to do so much overcompensation when I wasn't able to use the left side of my body, and it's just it's a lot. It's a lot to process mentally. It's a lot to process mentally, like on my own. Like, I've had a few therapists. And therapy's been hard. It's been hard. Like, I had like I personally feel like finding a good therapist is like trying to find a good partner. It's not like you just go sound like, hey, there's a therapist. It's not like that at all, because I do have a lot of different stuff to like work through. Like, there's trauma physically, there's trauma emotionally, there's trauma mentally. Like, you know, I'm just now at the point of like trying to process the fact that like sometimes I forget things, like the beginning of this video, I forgot the intro. It's like I've been spending so much time, trying to get justice, and just being so angry and frustrated, and you know, I'm still angry and frustrated, but I definitely am more sad than I am angry and frustrated, because it's just like I don't know why, and not that there's ever a why, but it's hard knowing that, like, you know, just on so many levels. It's like the restaurant doesn't want to take accountability for what happened, right? And they're trying to, you know, blame everything on the hospital. It's like, no, yes, the hospital did stuff wrong, but one, wouldn't have gone to the hospital if it wasn't for y'all. Two, I could have got help if y'all's employees didn't drive me to the hospital themselves. Three, it's just like, y'all lied to me about the broth because I asked before I consumed it. Okay. It's like, and then at the hospital, it's like, okay, my first night in the ICU, after going through all this other stuff, I was sexually assaulted. It's like, and then I said something to an employee, and they're like, by law, we have to open up an investigation. It's just like, and then they're doing that, and now all the nurses and stuff who helped me up until that point in the first 24 hours are being investigated. It's like, and I don't know if just them or if it was just like all the employees in general, because it went from that to then I had an alleged medicine induced stroke by another employee, a day or so later. I want to say actually maybe the next day. It actually may have been the next day. And that's even more like, what the heck? Because I didn't sleep when that happened. I didn't sleep for hours. Like, that happened around midnight, and I didn't go to sleep until after 7 a.m. when they switched shifts, because I just felt that uncomfortable going to sleep. It's like, and then, I'm now paralyzed on the left side of my body. I'm discharged from the ICU to the main floor. Then they're trying to discharge me out of the hospital altogether so they can just automatically, like, we don't even want to deal with whatever issues could come from the fact that we just messed up this personal trainer's body. A woman who has done this for years, has a full career, trains celebrities, etc. We just messed up. So instantly, they tried to get me out of the hospital. It's like, and then I was like, hey, this sounds like a lawsuit. Then they let me stay in the hospital, but then it went to, they're quote unquote running all these tests, and they're like, oh, all the test results are coming back positive. So there's nothing wrong with you. Though I'm not able to move the left side of my body, and my hand and foot is like visibly swollen, which is why they wouldn't allow me, like when I tried to get help to charge my phone, they wouldn't allow me to charge my phone, because they didn't want me to have any proof of like evidence of the fact that something's wrong with those results. which is also why anyone who's ever requested them has had a very hard time getting them. Like when I, had to get like pre-litigation funding, I had to provide the medical documents myself because the hospital wouldn't send them to the people. It's like when disability requested, they wouldn't send it to the people, and it's just like it's not like okay, getting clearance. I know it's okay. Well, we have to make sure that we can send in your medical documents to people. Yeah, but like if people on my side who I'm asking to request them, why aren't y'all sending it? Like the disability thing, it's like y'all are messing up like my money, and it's just like, and then two, I know it's like I know the hope was, well, she won't be able to provide for herself. She'll be homeless. And I was that. I was literally on the street. And then eventually maybe something will happen to her and then we won't have to actually take it, excuse me. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Acid reflux. Where it's just like then something can happen to her and then we don't have to acknowledge that we did anything. And I think that that's just so evil to hope such horrible things on somebody who was just trying to get help. Who was just trying to get help. And it's been the hardest almost 2 years because it's just, again, my entire life has just changed and switched in such a way that, like, I still honestly can't even comprehend. I still can't comprehend. But it's frustrating. And then, I noticed like online, if I was talking about the situation and something would go viral, then randomly I would have issues, with my views or whatever it is, like online. So it's like, so y'all trying to censor me from talking about this situation? Like, that's crazy. Like, y'all hurt me. Y'all literally hurt me.